Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We're live. We're
Oh,
live now. Say hi to everyone.
hi.
Oh man. First of all, I have to tell you a story. Um, my nails, can you see my nails? Let me see. It's kind of delayed here, but yesterday I went to get a piece of bread out of the freezer, and because it's gluten-free, I keep it like frozen. And it snapped off my two of my fingernails all the way back to like the middle. It was disgusting. I was bleeding everywhere. So I have to put some like fake nails on. But anyway, two of my nails are fake now.
Oh my God.
It was miserable.
Ouch.
Anyway, yeah. Hey, Kay. Yeah, not you, Kayla. There's a different Kay. We have a one of the people that I guess I'm getting to know through Cameron's chats and streams and things. Kay, she's in our chat right now. So, anyway, we
I can't
are
see
going
any of that.
to chat today about our amazing trip. I think we had a pretty good trip on the Jewel of the Seas, Royal Caribbean.
Yes.
And do you want to kind of start us off? I know you guys were the smart. You and your mom were the smart ones. Got in a little bit early, went the night before, and stayed at Hollywood Beach.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, how'd you like that?
I that was my first time at Hollywood Beach and I really enjoyed it. I thought it
Yeah,
was gorgeous.
yeah,
Yeah, I liked being our hotel was like 10 steps away from being in the sand. So that was really nice. And then we spent the evening walking and just like kind of walking the little strip and we stopped at Senior Frogs to eat and did some shopping.
Uh, sorry, I'm having a little technical difficulties here. I don't know why it did that. It I just tagged myself in the thing. I was trying to say hi to Kay in the chat, but um yeah, so Cameron and I, we usually like to go down at least the night before. Hollywood Beach is one of our favorite places to go because it has the broad walk. It's not a boardwalk, it's the broad walk, but has like a lot of shops and stores. It's right on the beach. It's really cool. So I'm glad that you got to go there and you didn't have the stress of the morning of showing up for the ship and probably a
Yeah.
pretty relaxing morning for you guys just to get up and go.
Yeah, we got to just eat breakfast at the hotel and even do some more shopping, and then, yeah, call an Uber to
Nice.
go to the ship, so it was nice. It didn't feel rushed coming straight off of the plane.
Yeah. And then we showed up pretty much within like minutes of each other, I think. It wasn't really, I don't think you guys had to wait too long for us to get there, but our flight was pretty quick. It was like a 2.5 hour flight, I think, that morning, but not too bad. So let's see. We get on the ship, we get to the ship. I think we met at the buffet, right? That morning. We all just kind of
Yep.
met at the buffet. You and your mom were nice enough to save us a spot.
Yeah, it was pretty open, so it wasn't that hard. There wasn't that many people. The boarding process was super quick and easy for us. We didn't have to wait in any lines. It was for us when we got there, at the time we got there, it was just walking through each section and went to some nice lady who verified our passport and took our pictures, and then we boarded the ship.
Yeah, same. I think we walked right on, and we didn't check our luggage or anything like that, so we kept our luggage with us. I like to keep my little carry-on because it gives me some place to put my laptop bag, and then I don't have to carry the laptop bag. I can just put it on top of my little carry-on, which is all we had for this short trip since it was just what we have 3 days, no, 4 nights, 3 days, which always confuses me, but definitely not long enough. I wish it was a little bit longer.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Leaving then, you always wish there was an extra day.
I know. It's always the saddest day is the last day of the cruise, but um yeah, so let's see what else. The first day we when we met with you, you had thankfully found the gluten-free part of the buffet, which was pretty nice. So I was thankful that you found that for me. And the one thing I'd say about the buffet, as far as the gluten-free section, at first I thought that it was that whole U shape section, but fortunately we asked and they said it was just the one side. So that was, I mean, it was kind of nice to know that that's exactly the only spot that I had, that was deemed gluten free. But at first, when I saw it, I was hopeful that it was the whole U-shaped section, and so I was kind of disappointed when it wasn't. But it was still nice that they had something. So
Yeah, I that's what I thought too. I thought it was that whole section, but it was easy to find and easily identifiable that that spot was the gluten-free. I walked up to the wrong spot and it just said gluten-free. I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
so that was nice that it was out there letting you know."
right. Aside from, or unlike the dessert section where you accidentally picked up a gluten-free dessert,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Well, it was labeled, I just didn't read.
right, yeah, you knew it once you ate it though.
Yes. Mhm.
That's funny.
It was gluten-free and sugar-free, so that was just
Yeah,
fun all the way around.
perfect for me, but not so much for you.
Yeah.
Um, So let's see. I did do a quick little video. I think Cameron might have it here for us, but I put together a little video of all the fun gluten free things that I got to eat on the cruise. Um, and I thought Royal Caribbean did a really good job. We might talk about it a little bit more when we talk about like the dinner and stuff, but I think they did a really good job with the gluten free food, and I was very pleased with it. So, oh, it won't show. Oh, here's the video. I don't know if you can hear it. Oh, okay. So that was my cute little video. I was so excited about all the food, but yeah, I did a whole like recap of that on my other blog, clashyadventures.com. But we will talk again a little bit maybe about it when we get to the dinner section. But let's see, what else did we do? We got there, we ate a lot for sure.
Yeah.
Um, we were trivia masters. We played the what was that? Motown? Was it like a
Motown.
Motown
Motown.
trivia? And we won
Mhm.
our little keychains. I don't know. I don't think Cameron has a picture of that, but we were so proud of ourselves. What else here? Let's see. I've got some notes. I've got notes. Oh, for the first time ever, we went to an art auction. I had none of us had ever been to one. Did your mom? Was your mom ever at an auction before?
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
that was everybody's first time.
Yeah, first time. That was pretty cool. Took up quite a bit of our evening, I think, but it still gave us something to do. Not like we lacked things to do, I think, on the ship this time, but um, I definitely enjoyed that. I'd do it again. Plus, they gave us free champagne, so why not?
And free art.
And free art. Yeah. You guys left with, I think we had two or three free pieces. How many did you get?
I had 2 of the same, and mom had a pack that had, like, 6 to 10 of them in there,
Jeez.
plus then the other free one, but, yeah, she won the drawing one of the drawings and got a free pack of art, and
Yeah.
I think we were there for, like, 2-ish hours, but it didn't seem like that. It didn't seem to drag, it was fun and interesting, I think, to
Yeah,
me.
I think they did a good job of keeping it interesting because she would have those little pop up parts where if you were paying attention, you know, they went from auctioning off like a $30,000 piece of art to like a $25, you know, bid, or the bid starts at like $25 and then everybody's all of a sudden excited. It's like, wait, we are paying attention. So that was
Yeah.
kind of cool that she kept everyone pretty engaged. I think that was nice.
Yeah.
Cameron said your mom paid 99 for her two pieces. It's not bad.
And I think one was framed too. Like it came framed.
Yeah, $99
That's like
framed.
2 pieces framed and shipped.
Yeah, cool. So,
And bingo.
oh, did you
Go.
say something?
That's another activity on the ship we did was bingo.
Oh, bingo. Yeah, that was fun. That was in the same place as the art auction, which that was called, what was that called? The Safari Club?
Mm.
Yeah, the Safari Club. They're on deck six, and it had like the little stage area, and off to the side, there were like pool tables. There was the chessboard, and I think they had bands in there. When Cameron walked in there one time, I think a band was playing, but that was a really nice lounge area. If you're looking for like a quiet lounge on Jewel of the Seas, definitely check out the Safari Club on deck six.
How did you feel about bingo? How were you feeling about bingo?
I don't love bingo the way you guys love bingo. It's a little high stress for me, but I think the guy was having some technical difficulties, so I don't think he was the best bingo person I've seen. I like when they're a little bit more, I don't know, engaged, or I felt like his was too rehearsed.
Yeah. It almost seemed he seemed kind, but it almost seemed like not genuine, like a forced trying to hype, like it didn't seem like he was like genuinely trying to hype us up and make it, it was.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've only played bingo 3 times on cruises, but I feel like on this particular cruise, like the price versus the amount of time we did it and like the amount of like fun in the activity, like just didn't seem to me as like well balanced as other times I've been. Like it just seemed a little too expensive for 3 quick games.
Yeah, we didn't even buy the package. How much was it?
I think it was like for the basic one, it was like 59 or 69. It was somewhere between like 50, $60. And it was just like 3 simple, like straight line bingos, and then it was done.
Ugh. Do you know how much the electronic one was? I don't remember, but I know your mom
I
had
think
like,
that was it. It was like you got an electronic and a
mm,
sheet of paper, and one was like 59 or 49, and the other one was like 69 or something like that to have like an extra sheet of paper or something.
yeah. And then I know when you're at least gold, you get like an extra sheet, but your mom didn't get hers. So it was a good thing she noticed that before I think we got started, and she ran up and got it, but they didn't catch that at the beginning. So if you get a free bingo card with whatever loyalty package you're at or loyalty level, make sure that you get it when you actually check in because they did miss
Yeah.
that with her.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So I
you
feel
can't
like
get anything by
I'm
on Kathleen. She's gonna get her
yeah.
bingo cards.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to bingo.
Yeah, she's the bingo
So
queen.
yeah, I feel like I like playing bingo and especially like on vacation. So that's my third time playing. But I feel like personally this time it just didn't seem the amount of time spent playing and like the fun that we should have had, it just didn't feel like worth the price to me personally.
Yeah, agreed. And I think that's probably, I mean, we didn't know it was going to be like that short, but
Mhm.
for as much as it was going to be, that's probably one of the reasons that Cameron and I chose not to play was just it wasn't really kind of worth that much money, I didn't think. But yeah,
Yeah.
true. But still, it's fun. It's nice that they have that activity on board.
Hmm.
They, oh, Cameron just popped up our picture of our big winnings from the trivia, the Motown trivia. We won our bottle openers.
Yeah.
So big winners, big winners. We also did some winning in the casino. The casino was nice.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. I think
I
I ended up winning like, I want to say like 389. And then I don't know how you guys made out with your coin pushing. You guys like to play that coin pushing machine.
That never really pays out that much.
It at
That
least
never
gives
really
you
does
something to
that
do.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like the first day at the casino, that first night, wasn't it the first night we went? Did we go the first night?
I think we win every night.
Yeah, because I feel like the first night, like we went on the first night we were on the ship, and it was packed. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty busy. But otherwise, like everywhere else on the ship or the casino, like that next night we went, I feel like there wasn't, you never struggled to find space. Like
Right.
there was always something open. But I liked the casino because I liked that they had lower like denom machines you could play. You know, you didn't have to bet a doll or bet every time you spun. There were 30 cent and 40 cent ones that we sat on for hours.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice because I'm with you. I like to just play the lower amounts and just sit there as long as I can. Um, but we almost did get kicked out, or did you left
Yeah.
voluntarily with our popcorn. Cameron showed up with popcorn. We found out that there's popcorn at the movie theater, and there was, as if something is playing. So, if there's a show going on, they'll do popcorn. It's like $2 for a little cup of it, but we all love popcorn except Cameron, so it was worth it. And then he brought it to us in the casino, hands it to me and Kayla, and then goes to find their mom to give her hers, and immediately the manager came over and was like, "You can't have any food or drink in here, any outside food or drink, I guess." But so we both look around like, what are we gonna do?
We were
And
looking for Cameron.
yeah, we were like, where? How far did he go? Can he come and get our popcorn? Because we didn't even get to eat any of it.
No.
So fortunately, I still had my beach bag with us, and we slid them down inside the beach bag, so we were able to save them for later. But that was awesome. But yeah, your mom had no problem. Cameron said that she sat there and got to eat her whole popcorn with no problems, no complaints.
They
So
probably didn't see her or something.
yeah, she she was flying under the radar there. But yeah, the casino was good. What else happened at the casino? No hot seat winner this time for me.
Well,
Um,
you had to be, this time you had to have so many points on your card to be eligible for it.
yeah, Cameron said it was 250. You had to have at least 250 points, but it was kind of unclear as far as like when you were earning those points. Was it throughout the whole cruise, or was it in like the hours before that? And so, and I'm not. I mean, I guess if you go more often, those things might become a little bit more apparent. But I wasn't real sure about it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so the casino was fun. It's always fun. I think that was, like I said, I think we went there every night, and it was probably the main event for us aside from off the ship things that we were doing. But and then yeah, Cameron now after we've left has looked at his casino offers, because if you spend money in the casino, they like to send you offers so that you come back and gamble more. And he's got like four new offers in there. So,
Nice.
he's ready to start booking those cruises any minute for us. So we'll see. Yeah, and who doesn't allow popcorn in the casino cabinet? That's Royal Caribbean, apparently on Jewel of the Seas. So don't get in trouble with the popcorn again. So, how'd you like your room?
I was pleasantly surprised at how big it was, but we did get a like a handicap accessible room. So it was very roomy.
Yeah. And you guys were on the second floor, and we were on
The
the
lowest
third.
we could
Yep.
do.
And so I thought it was really convenient for you guys to be there because when we got off and on the ship, you were literally like four doors down from your room, then you're off the ship, then you're back on the ship. So that was pretty convenient.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't mind being in the basement when we were close to an elevator and easily on and off the ship. So,
Yeah, that was pretty cool. What's up, Toes? Toes is joining
how about
us.
what do you guys had like a standard ocean view room, right?
Yeah, we had just the little window. I don't even know that we ever looked out the window, or I don't remember looking out it except for when we first went into the room. But otherwise, yeah, the room was really nice. One of the main features that I liked about this room, and if it's been in any other rooms that we've been in, I didn't notice it, but I get up to use the restroom a couple times at the throughout the evening or throughout the night, and I usually leave the bathroom door open so that I don't accidentally turn on the wrong lights and wake Cameron up, even though he would sleep through a hurricane for sure, and I'm pretty sure he has. But um, when you get up, there's like a motion censored light on the floor that kind of lit up the floor. Did you have one of those in your room?
I was going to say that as soon as you said that. We noticed it the very last night that when
Oh,
we would move, we were packing and then mom was still packing, so I was trying to like rest, so we turned down most of the lights. And when she'd like move, it was on the desk. Like the desk would glow up underneath.
yeah.
And so
Yeah,
that
I
was cool.
thought
So
that
we
was
noticed the
awesome.
very last night. But one thing I didn't like about my room though was that there were no plugins near the beds. There was one plug-in outlet like that had two outlets in it or two devices that you could plug in, and it was over by the desk. So there was no way, unless you were sitting at the desk, that you could be like on your phone while it's charging or have it near you or anything that you would need for bed, like with you without like an extension cord or something.
Right. And fortunately, Cameron always remembers to bring an extension cord because we've had this happen in the past. But anyone that has a CPAP, you have to have an extension cord, or you're not going to be able to have your CPAP next to you on the side of the bed. And then even worse for his scenario, I like to sleep closer to the door because of my irrational fears. And so uh, he was even farther away from the plug at that point. So he was really happy that he had the extension cord, but hoping that as some of these new ships start to come out, that they'll start putting more outlets in. And I'm pretty sure that we've been on some of the newer ones, and they have a better, um, I guess, like they have more
Well,
outlets in the room,
mhm,
is what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
Cameron can
I
confirm
feel
that
like,
for us, but
yeah, I feel like one by the desk because we didn't really have like a sink area to get ready, in the bathroom.
mm,
And so I feel like one by the desk for like when mom curled her hair and stuff, but even one between the beds or on one side of the bed or something would have been convenient.
yeah. Because I mean, I sleep with my phone right next to me. I mean, and it's like my alarm clock. I like to look at it in the middle of the night and see, because I wake up 1,000 times. But so it would be way more convenient for sure.
Yeah.
But so agreed on that. Also in your room, we played some cards. We played spades, and um, my deck of cards that we had was pretty trashed because it was well used. Kayla and I like to play spades and kick some ass when we play against our husbands. We are always partners. Our husbands are always partners when we play spades. But Kathleen had to fill in, so your mom had to fill in for Derek over the trip. Cameron was filling in for Angie on the cruise, for the girls' cruise. And then Kathleen was filling in for Derek on the spades situation. So, um, but we had fun. And then we played, what was that other game?
Um,
Imposter?
imposter. Yeah. It's like, who's the imposter or something.
Yeah, I'm horrible at that game.
Yeah, you were so bad.
We,
I
yeah, we,
thought I was bad, like at home, because I am a bad liar. And so I like smile when I lie because I don't know, I think I'm getting away with it or something. And so like I have to like pinch my hand to try to like not laugh. but you were not good at that game.
No, that was not good at that game. I couldn't even like I'm a horrible liar, so to try to come up with a lie, so maybe let's explain how the game is played for starters. You explain how the game is played.
So it's an app game I downloaded on my phone, and you put in how many players you want to play and each of their names, and basically you take turns touching your name, and it shows you a word. Like it'll say apple, and then one random player it'll say you're the imposter, and so you go around in a circle 3 times saying clues that like have to do with the word. So like if it's apple, you could say tree, but you kind of want it vague where other people would get it, but the imposter wouldn't. And so the imposter also has to say a clue. And hopefully they kind of know. And at the end, everybody guesses who the imposter is, and then you get points. We weren't keeping track of points or anything like that. But if
Well,
the
I
imposter
lost.
can find out the word and before the end of the game, they can say, I'm the imposter and the word is apple, and then they win the game.
Yeah, I never made it to the end, I don't think, of any round. And I ended up being the stupid imposter like 4 times or something
I was
ridiculous. And
never the imposter, and I was so happy. I was so happy.
it was so bad.
But yeah, you were like 3 times in a row at least.
Yeah, it was bad. Well, and then I think the only other person that was the imposter was Cameron, right?
Mom, I think
Oh, your
mom was
mom.
like
Yeah,
the
she
second to
was one
last
time. Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
we
so we
didn't
did
play
like
very
6
many.
rounds, and you were the first 4, and then it was mom and then Cameron.
Yeah. And I gave up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But what I was going to say about the cards and being in your room, we ordered a new deck of cards. So your mom called room service and she wanted a blanket. And so we asked for a deck of cards as well. And they brought us a deck of cards. And I think, let me check my notes, but I think they were there in like 9 minutes because we were like, let's time them and see how long this is going to take. And I think it only took like 9 minutes for them to get a blanket and the cards down to your room, which was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fast.
Yeah, that was nice. Um, One of the other things that your mom, I think, mentioned was that she was having some difficulties with the app, like not the app itself, but the times. And I think we missed a couple things, like we missed an art giveaway one night, um, and it because the times in the app were different, but then if you read the description had the correct time. So I don't know what was going on there, but if anyone is going on Jewel of the Seas, I'd say pay attention to the actual like description and the time in the app to make sure that you're um, just go early is the answer. Just go early.
Because I think they missed like 1 or 2 things. Her and Cameron missed a couple things by like 10 minutes
Yeah.
because the time in the app when it shows you the list of things happening was like 10 minutes off, or whatever. But then if you click on the thing and look in the description, then it would tell you like, oh, by 11:50 instead of, 11 to 12. It would say like 11 to 11:50.
Right.
Which might be just because when they schedule it, it might be like half an hour increments maybe, I don't know, but yeah, that was
Yeah.
a problem a couple times.
Yeah. I mean, you and I missed the art giveaway because we got distracted with the little the store that was along the route. And then I guess Cameron and your mom thought that we were with them, but they just kind of left us,
Walking.
which is fine. We did some shopping, but we just missed it. That's okay. We can't
We
blame it
got
on the app,
distracted.
is my point. We can't blame it on the app.
Mhm. Yeah.
Let's see. So the app, oh, um, the freestyle. I have my little cup. So if you've ever been on a Royal Caribbean cruise, if you get the soda package or the drink package, they'll give you a refillable cup that you can use at the freestyle machines, and you have to set your cup down before it lets you select a drink flavor. But one of the complaints I think that we had on the cruise about that was the only machine we could find. Cameron put a picture up for us of what it looked like. The only machine we could find was all the way in the back of the buffet. So we would have to walk all the way through the buffet when it was closed sometimes if we wanted to get a soda. You could get regular, like what, Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite at the bar. But if you wanted the fun flavors that are in the freestyle, you know, Mellow Yellow Zero, Mellow Yellow, which is what your mom and I were drinking. And then you and Cameron were getting, well, you were mostly getting water, weren't you? But
That's
um,
all I drank was water.
yeah. And Cameron would get maybe a lemonade every now and then. But yeah, you had to go all the way to the back of the buffet. So if there was another freestyle machine, we missed it. But if not, it would be nice if they put another one somewhere, even out by the pizza. Like when you guys
Yeah.
went for late night pizza, that would have been a nice location for it to be.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Having to walk across the almost the whole ship, up levels and across the ship, just to fill your drink was kind of, I mean, the ship wasn't that big, but still round trip took 15, 20 minutes to go from your room to go get a drink to go back to your room.
Right, right. And yeah, the ship wasn't that big. I know we didn't see a lot of things. Like we were supposed to go look at the little bowling alley, but we completely just we forgot. And yeah, we only had 3 days to do it, so we kind of ran out of time. But I don't feel like there was ever really a time where we were like, oh my God, we're bored to tears, or hey, we have some downtime, let's go explore the ship. We were really trying to do as much as we could.
Hmm. Yeah. We were trying to do the shows, the free games.
Hmm. Yeah, there was plenty to do, I think. And even though it is a small ship, I think you mentioned earlier, like it didn't feel very crowded.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, there
No.
was always plenty of seats. We always had plenty of room, so that was nice. But let's see. I'm checking things off my little list here. We played the imposter. Oh, one of the nights we were going. I think you and your mom were in the casino, and Cameron and I were coming in after you guys, or maybe you just walked ahead of us. But you walked through the pit stop. Did you see that little sports bar area where they had the games on?
Yep. Yep.
I
That was cool.
Yeah, that was really nice. And I know that I've traveled sometimes when like some of the bigger games are on, like the World Series, and it's really hard to find a place where there's enough room to sit and watch it, or even that they're showing it, because sometimes they're just not showing it. But Jewel of the Seas, I think, was doing a really good job. They had football. I think it was Sunday. We were there on Sunday, so there was definitely football happening in the pit stop, and looked like everybody was having a great time. So that would have been. I know my son would have definitely enjoyed that area.
Yeah, that was a cool little space.
Yeah, but we just happened to. I hadn't seen it prior to that because it was kind of on the opposite side, or I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but um, but yeah, that was cool to stumble upon. Let's see. Let's talk about our dinners. What did you think about the overall dining experience?
Um, I thought the overall experience was good. I was happy with the overall experience. Some of the food was like really good. And then I feel like if you got like any um entree that had like vegetables and a baked potato was just kind of bland. I don't feel
Hmm.
like there was like enough seasoning for that kind of stuff, but then some of the things were like amazingly seasoned depending on what you got.
Yeah,
But I think the basic dinner where it was like grilled chicken and vegetables and a potato was just kind of, you know, more on the bland side, I guess.
yeah, I would agree with that. Cameron popped up a picture here of him and your mom with their ice creams at the buffet. I don't think I ever did get the ice cream. I think I meant to get it a couple times and then I was gonna get like a bowl of ice cream. Completely forgot till I just
I
saw
think
this
I
picture.
only got ice cream on the private island.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
when
that's
we
the
were
only
at the
time I got
buffet, I kept getting just a bowl of whipped cream. Like, why do you need the ice cream when you can just get
it.
unlimited whipped cream or Cool Whip, whatever it is? That's my favorite. So I don't need the ice cream.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a couple bowls of Cool Whip for sure. Yeah. So the dinner, back to dinners. Yeah, I agree with you that the vegetables had no seasoning, like the steamed broccoli. It was just steamed broccoli. But my again, I have no complaints about most of the gluten free stuff. I was really happy that they said. Well, they gave me the option every night if we were coming back to the dining room that I could pre-order my meals for the next day because I have celiac disease and so I am gluten free. Um, and I loved that. And usually, what I do is I'll just scan the menu and I look at things that I assume they can make pretty easily gluten free. And so I had asked for something, and the manager, what was his name? Rajiv? Yeah.
Mhm.
He said that they could make anything I wanted gluten free as long as I pre ordered it. So I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that was nice. That
Yeah.
was nice. I also feel like I'm not gluten free, so I can't speak for you, but I've been in the last like 12 months now on two cruises with you being gluten free. And I feel like when we went on MSC, to me, as like a bystander watching it happen, I feel like it was almost more of a fuss. Like
Yeah.
they made such a big deal out of it. It was almost like embarrassing sometimes, like the way they'd be like loud about it, or oh, you can't have that. And they like wouldn't even let you touch the bread, or anything like that. Just was like it just seemed like so, and I get it because it's allergies, but I feel like it was almost not embarrassing, but kind of, you know what I'm saying? Then everybody around you knows you're gluten free and they're watching, and stuff. Where this one, it was like you said, it was they gave you a menu and was like, pick anything you want and we'll make it gluten free for you. And it wasn't like this fuss almost kind of.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it definitely on MSC it was more like not an issue, but they did make a little bit more of an ordeal over it versus
Yeah,
this was just seemed like they're used to dealing with it on Royal. It's just another day. I was just another customer. Like, yep, let me just get your pre-order in. Versus like at the end of MSC, it was like, oh my God, hold on, don't leave. We have to get the manager to come over and take your order. And it was kind of more of a production, I guess, which I
exactly. That's
hate.
the word, like a production. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like
I
the people sitting next to you knew that you were gluten free and they heard the conversation, and not that there's anything wrong with it, but it was almost like then you knew people were looking at you while you're trying to eat your food and.
yeah. And who wants that anyway?
Yeah.
That also though, you bring up a good point about like comparing it to MSC. I felt like on MSC, my food, remember it would come out like at different times. I'd either get it like 15 minutes before you guys or 15 minutes after you guys sometimes depending on what was going on. But Royal did a really good job, I thought, of bringing it at the same exact time as you guys. And I don't feel like I was ever eating without you guys at the same time.
Yeah, sometimes on MSC, it was we were already like done and our
Mhm.
desserts were coming out when your main dish was coming out. Where on Royal, if they came out separately at all, it was like 3 minutes apart.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was
So
probably
that
just
was nice
because
too.
someone else was bringing it, not because it wasn't ready or um yeah, I didn't notice that gap at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was nice.
And
Um
in the dining hall, I liked the little productions we got every night. The dances and
yeah.
everything like that. That was really entertaining. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Um I felt bad when we had sat there for longer than an hour and then we got to see the same thing twice, like it wasn't a different show every hour. It's just the same thing they had just done the previous hour, but they're hopefully turning over those tables every hour. So it would be nice if they kind of switched it up.
Yeah. I feel like we saw it at the beginning and the end though. Like we got seated and it started, and
Hmm.
then as we were finishing up our dessert, it was the second one coming around, but
Yeah.
I like that they involved everybody who was eating. You got to swing your napkin, you got to stand up and do the little line and walk around the dinner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Not that I could figure out how to swing the napkin over my head, but I'm not very coordinated, so I was gonna knock something over. I just set my napkin down and moved on.
Mine kept getting wrapped around my hand, so I just stopped trying.
Yeah, we just don't have that skill. We're better at other
Oh,
things, I guess.
yeah, we were clapping.
Yeah, we were really, really good at clapping. Really good at that.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we had our wait staff was really good in the main dining rooms, which is called Tides. Um, we actually did the is it called my time dining.
Yep.
So we were allowed to go during certain times, but we didn't have reservations. I think it was anytime after 6:45 we could just show up for dinner, which was nice because we didn't have to, be somewhere at an exact time. But we did ask for the same wait staff every night, and they did accommodate that, and that was really nice. Especially again with the gluten issue, I felt like that helped quite a bit. But we had Aldrin and Donald, and then Rajiv, and they were amazing.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, Donald was so funny.
He was funny.
Yeah. It was like these little puns or little, quips he put in there that, like, were so funny. It just made it entertaining even more.
Oh yeah, what did he say to your mom about the
Lobster.
lobster?
Yeah, she was unsure if the lobster she paid, like, the extra $20 to get, like, the filet and lobster one night, and she was unsure if the lobster was, like, a full lobster or a lobster tail because she wanted it just to be a lobster tail, but it only said lobster, so she was unsure, so she asked him, and he said that if you want the full lobster, they do offer it at the other restaurant that, like, you pay for that we never went to, so they did offer it at, like, an expensive restaurant or whatever, but that it was just the lobster tail. And she was like, "Oh, good. I'm just making sure that it doesn't come out with eyeballs staring at me." And he's
Yeah.
like, "No, it's just the tail." So when
Yeah.
she finished like getting the meat out of the tail, it was like on a separate plate. And he came to grab it and he's like, "I'll remove this dead body for you," or whatever he said. And it was just so funny because we were joking about like the eyeballs and stuff. So it was like we opened it up for him to be able to joke and then he did and it was funny.
Yeah, I feel like once you kind of like let them know it's okay to joke, like it's fun to see their personalities kind of shine, and when they actually embrace that, and he definitely did. Donald did. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, who do we have in here chatting? I don't want to ignore our little chat here. We're new to this, so we don't want to forget anybody or miss anything, but say hi to everyone. I saw Terry just popped in. Hi, Terry. Thanks for stopping by. And Kay's still here. Is Toes still in here? No. And I think Hey Hey was here, but everyone that's still here, thanks for sticking in here with us and stopping by. We're just chatting about our last cruise on Jewel of the Seas with Royal Caribbean. We had a great time. And so if you have any questions about Royal Caribbean or Jewel of the Seas or anything, feel free to pop them in the chat there, and we'll try to pay attention to what's going on over there. Um, but yeah, we're just chatting. Hey, Kay. So yeah, I think dinner was great. Um, what else? What am I missing?
With dinner?
Yeah. Oh, the cheese plate was awesome every night. I got the cheese plate mostly for desserts. And there was this weird little fig thing. Who tried that? Somebody ate it. Wasn't me.
Cameron. Cameron.
Cameron tried it. Disgusting.
I
Um,
refused to because I knew what it was.
yeah, it looked gross. Oh, and he says it was gross. So confirmed. We didn't need to try it. We could tell it was gross by looking at it, but it just looked like a little brown ball of ew. Yeah, and that's probably what it tasted like. So pass. But otherwise, the cheese plate was always good. It's always a good, easy dessert for me. What desserts did you get?
I had so many because I liked that if two sounded good, I could try both.
Yeah.
So I had hmm, I can't even remember. I had a chocolate cake that was really good and moist. And I had the cheese plate a couple times. I liked the smoked cheese, so I would take yours.
Yeah.
And, um, I had uh what was that one Cameron and I had on the last night? I want to say bread pudding, but it wasn't bread pudding.
I don't
I
remember. Do
can't
you
remember
remember?
what the last one was.
He doesn't remember. He said,
Yeah,
"What did it taste like?"
I have so many pictures of them. Well, I would know, but I don't. I have so many pictures of them. I just can't look at my phone right now, so I can't think of them. I sent them all to Cameron. He should be able to look. But
Yeah.
yeah, I had several cakes, different kind of cakes. Oh, we had like this chocolate custard one night, like the first night. It was like this chocolate custard type thing, and it tasted like if you had mixed hot chocolate and like pudding, chocolate pudding together. It was so good. I enjoyed it. I think Cameron liked it too.
Yeah. He likes chocolate, so it sounds like something he would probably have enjoyed.
Yeah, but it had a very like hot chocolatey flavor, like different than just chocolate. It almost was like hot chocolate.
Mm.
So it was good.
Mm. Oh, is that the one he just sent the picture or put the picture up? Can you see it?
I can't see anything.
Has like
No.
a little raspberry on it. Looks like it was almost creme brulee, but the
Yeah,
chocolate
in a little
version of
white
it.
dish. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. It was some sort of they just called it like a chocolate custard or something, but it was really good.
Looks yummy. I don't know why
I just
I don't love chocolate, so that's probably why I didn't try it, but just not a chocolate person.
yeah.
I don't know why.
I was too busy enjoying them. I can't remember all the foods I had.
They were all good.
Yeah.
Um yeah, well, I think overall the ship though was I would say it probably exceeded my expectations. I think I had pretty low expectations because it was a little bit older ship. This one was redone in what year did it get refurbished? Its maiden voyage was in 2004, but I think it was like 2016 that they refurbished it, if I remember correctly. And so I just have been on some others that they've done the same thing and they just were like mediocre. But I really was impressed with this one, and I would 100% go again on Jewel of the Seas.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it it like was a little had a little bit of an older feel like in like decor and stuff like that than another royal ship I've been on. But it didn't I've been on other ships that definitely felt more old and almost like run down. And this one didn't have it at all. Like the carpeting looked a little, maybe outdated, but it didn't smell bad or, look bad. It didn't look dirty or anything like that.
Yeah. Cameron has a picture up for us now. This is, I guess, is that the is but in this section is this the promenade? What was the little area? The atrium. He said they called it the centrum or centrium.
Mhm.
And so these are the two elevators that were the glass elevators on the inside. That was pretty cool. But it was
Yeah.
really,
The
I thought
glass.
it was really pretty.
Mhm. And the stairs that lit up, that was really
Hmm.
pretty too.
Yeah. I think he's clicking to try to find pictures, but the stairs, yep, she sent. Um, yeah. One of the things I know Cameron brought his wristband, the WOW wristband, which is like the RFID. Oh, there's your stairs. Those were pretty.
Mhm.
Um, and then the customer service was to the right of the stairs. We
Yeah.
found them a couple times. So yeah, this is the picture Cameron brought his little RFID wristband. Royal Caribbean has. It's called their WOW wristbands, and he was hoping that he could use it on this cruise because it becomes like your room card. I think you can use it at the bars for your drinks and everything. You no longer need to carry along your little card. But unfortunately, Jewel of the Seas is not set up for that yet, so he wasn't able to use it. But on any other of the newer ships for Royal Caribbean, you might want to check out the wristbands because I know he really enjoys that. He doesn't like to carry around a lanyard. He definitely isn't carrying his wallet. So if he can be hands free, he definitely would prefer that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a
And I
nice
bet
feature to
the
have.
kids would probably prefer something like that too.
Yeah, especially kids, because kids don't really carry wallets or purses or, and how easy it would be to take a lanyard off at the pool or something and then forget it. And
Mhm. Yep. So let's see. Internet. How about your internet? I didn't have any problems with it. Voom is their internet on Royal Caribbean, but I think once we got it set up, it everything was fine for us.
yeah, yeah, I don't even think the setup was that hard, but yeah, it worked fine. I didn't have any problems with it at all.
Yeah, we didn't try to stream, but the next time we're gonna try to do some more of that kind of stuff and see how it works from the cruise ship. It's just an excuse for us to cruise, but whatever, we'll take it. um, but otherwise, yeah, the internet was good. The internet on the private island was fine. I know I had issues on MSC where you like had to disconnect and reconnect, and then it caused all sorts of issues. But I did not have that problem with Royal Caribbean. And we almost forgot to talk about the private island. That's your
Yeah,
favorite part, I think.
that is my favorite. And I liked that the internet worked on the private island.
Yes.
Yeah. Where MSC, we went on the private island and suddenly you had to do some work. And so you brought your work stuff and then suddenly the internet's not working. And they said that what were they saying? They said something about how like it didn't work on the private island. You needed a different one or something, remember? Or
Yeah.
they said you should have went like you should have gotten off the private island and told them and they could have helped you or something. And it was just a hassle.
Yeah. On for MSC, yeah, they said you had to disconnect and reconnect, I guess, to the island Wi-Fi. But then I didn't know that, so I wasn't going to walk all the way back to the ship and try to figure it out. But when I got back to the ship the next, or I think I did waited until the next day, and because I had forgotten, and they said that I should have walked back on the ship and asked them about it, and they would have helped me. So that was disappointing with MSC, but I'm glad we didn't have that problem with Royal Caribbean. That was nice. You just walked off the ship, it just kept working. It didn't seem like it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a
You
problem. It
didn't
was
have to
very
switch
seamless.
it. You didn't have to worry about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and as far as food on the private island, I think the little snack shacks are amazing. I love that I can get a gluten free bun for my hamburger. And they had a couple salads. We tried the Greek salad. And my favorite is that I get basically unlimited Udi's gluten free cookies, which the snickerdoodles are my favorite. And even Cameron likes them, and he's not gluten free, but he likes to sneak a gluten free cookie every now and then too when we're on the private island. So, but the food otherwise, did you enjoy the food on the island?
Yeah, one of my favorite things about the private island other than beaching is I feel like the buffet food, I like it almost better, but we didn't do that. We didn't go to like the big dining thing, but being able to get like a cheeseburger and some like cheese sticks or whatever or a burger when Cameron put them on his chicken, and stuff. It was so yeah, it was nice to be able to get food and it was right there on the beach. We had to walk like 40 steps and we were right there and we could just get food.
Yeah,
So that was
food,
nice.
drinks, everything was right there.
Ice cream.
The ice cream that I again forgot to get, but I was going to ask Cameron if he was going to tell about the secret menu um, with his cheese sticks on the cheeseburger or chicken burger or whatever it may be. But I'm allowed to tell your secret menu. He says yes. So apparently, if you ask at the snack shack for the secret burger, if I'm saying that wrong, you can correct me in the chat. But and they'll put cheese sticks on your cheeseburger for you. So the mozzarella sticks that are deep fried, they put those on the burger, either the chicken burger or the hamburger. Um, Someone needs to try it on a hot dog. Can they just put them on with your hot dog? That would be amazing too. But I can't have them, so you guys have to try those things for me.
I didn't try it. I was gonna try it again after my first burger, but then Cameron got it on the chicken.
Yeah.
He got the chicken sandwich with them on it, and I tried a bite, and it was so good. It was so good.
Is the chicken deep fried or is it chicken breast? Yeah, it's deep fried.
I think it was fried.
Yeah. Um, I know they offered me some grilled chicken for my Greek salad, but I didn't want it. So I'm sure they have grilled chicken. That's nice. But um, yeah, he loves the secret burger. I think the one time he ordered one and they didn't know what he was asking for, so they gave him the cheese sticks separate and the burger separate, and then someone else overheard him, or I might be the chef. He said the chef overheard him and actually gave him the correct burger. So he's walking around with two of these ginormous burgers because he had already made one and fixed it, and then the other guy gave him the correct one. So he was in heaven with his two cheeseburgers, cheesy cheeseburgers.
Hmm.
But he was enjoying it for me on my behalf, is all.
Yeah.
He does what he can. Right, babe?
And I feel like the private island didn't lack any activities. We saw people playing volleyball. There
Yes.
was like beach Jenga.
Mm-hmm.
Like we basically beached most of the time, so we didn't see much of it, but there were almost every time we took like a couple steps, there was a new activity that you could do other than just sitting in a beach chair.
Yeah. Um, although I think they did have plenty of beach chairs too. Like we didn't pay to reserve any beach chairs or umbrellas. We just went, and we went all the way out to South Beach, right? And had no problems. We were what, one or two rows back from the actual water, and we had umbrellas. We had plenty of chairs to choose from. I think we probably could have found one closer to the water, but we just saw a couple and parked ourselves, and we were happy where we were. So
Yeah.
that was nice that you didn't have to fight for beach chairs or worry about, rushing off the ship. And we didn't get off immediately. We kind of had breakfast, and I don't think we really rushed. As we didn't move as
No.
fast as you would have liked us to move, because I know you like to be on the beach.
Yeah, I think we could have gotten off at 8 and I think we got off closer to like 9:15 maybe, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Cameron just put up a picture for us here. This is again at South Beach. So to the left of this picture, if you can see, there's like a little swim out bar. Um, and once upon a time, I did swim out there, but I did not this time. And I think they have two bartenders out there, but every now and then you see them. Did you see them with the kayaks? They go out with like a cooler and like new fresh ice and things like that, and they'd switch out.
Oh, I didn't
So
see that one.
yeah. And then this other little umbrella in the water, it was a floating table. So you could bring your drinks out and you'd have somewhere to set them down. That was nice. Um, and what else happened at the beach? Oh, you guys took a long walk out on the sandbar.
Yeah, that was really cool. The tide kind of went down and you could see it, the beach getting, you could see the water dropping down on the tables. And Karen and I saw a couple people walking almost. I'm so bad at like distance, but like they were tiny in the distance. They were tiny. And we tried to figure out how to get out there and we noticed that like lighter spots that look like in the ocean were more shallow. So we kind of went there and we followed these two people that kind of made the whole loop. And yeah, I don't think we went any further than like our knees at some point, and we were way out there. Like I don't know how far we were out there, but it was far.
Yeah, I know. I
And it
tried
was
to zoom in
cool.
and take a picture, and I still couldn't get a decent picture of you guys while you were out there. So you were pretty far out there. You'd have to ask
Yeah, and
Cameron
it
how
was
far
cool
he
because
thinks you guys might have been.
we saw
He
sea
thinks at least a
cucumber.
quarter of a mile.
Yeah, I was telling Derek like half a mile. I was like, it was like half a mile because like when you were on the beach and we saw the people out first, like they're like literally this big, like they were tiny.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't see color of the swimsuit. Like that's how far out it was. But neither of us brought our phones or our watches for our steps or anything like that. But yeah, we got to walk around and all the way out, and it was we saw some cool things. We didn't have to walk through any seaweed. It wasn't any deeper than our knees. Most of the time, it was like mid calf to ankle. And we saw jellyfish and sea snails and sea cucumbers and a stingray and a bunch of other little fish and some cool seashells and crabs. It was cool. An
Yeah.
eel. I think we saw an eel, a lot of coral. So that was cool. Things that like I've never seen because I don't like going, like, out into the ocean, so, like, I never do, like, the snorkeling to see them, so it was cool that the tide went out and you could walk and, like, just see these things.
Yeah. He said you saw a big shell. Conch
We
shell.
did.
That's hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I stayed on the land. I do not venture out. I'm not that brave. So you were very brave. I was very proud of you that you did it. But
I was brave because it was fun and I thought it was so cool, but I wasn't as brave because I was always making sure Cameron can even say when we met our friend Patrick, I believe his name is, I was making sure that I was always, like, between the 2 of them. So if something was gonna come eat me, hopefully it would eat one of them first.
right.
Cameron did try to push me in the deeper water with the seaweed at one point, so that wasn't nice, but it was
That's
fun.
such a brother thing to do, right?
Oh,
He said to ask you about the bait ball.
oh god. He wanted to take a separate way back in than we took out because I think his name was Patrick, and we met this man who was on another ship. And so at one point it was just the 3 of us out there, and then more people started coming once they seen like how you could get out there. And he had goggles on, and so every time Cameron saw something cool, instead of Cameron going and looking, he would say like, "What is that? What is that, Patrick?" and make Patrick like pick it up. So they they wanted to like we saw a lot of things like on if you followed the seaweed line, like it was darker in certain spots and it was the same height of water. It wasn't that deep, but there was like seaweed there, and that's where you would see more of like the sea life. And so they wanted to keep following it, and it went a different way than the way we went out. And it started getting really dark and deeper, like up to, past your belly button. And I said, let's just go back the way we came. And Cameron said it would be too much of a walk and he didn't want to do it. So I'd have to do it by myself. And
He
mom
said the
said,
shore
because then
was 10
mom,
feet away.
no, no, it wasn't. Mom said it was at least like 20. But it was all black. We were up to our belly button and then it was all black, which means it was either deeper or it was seaweed. Like it was all just seaweed. And people, when we were on the beach, people were getting stung by some jellyfish.
Yes.
And so they had to go to and there was a purple flag saying that there was like dangerous wildlife. And so people were getting stung by jellyfish and they would have to go to the lifeguard and they would, spray them with vinegar or something. I don't know, not pee on them. And then they would feel better. But Patrick said that he noticed that it was people who were in the seaweed. So then that also scared me because we saw like girls like 10, 12 years old, like screaming, like
Yeah.
crying from being stung by jellyfish. And so we told Patrick when we were first out there, like, be careful, people were like getting stung by jellyfish. And because he didn't have water shoes on. And he said, I think it's just the people I've noticed, just the people in the seaweed. So then as we're coming back, it's just dark seaweed and just all of it, tons of it everywhere. And I wanted to go back the other way, and I basically would have had to do it by myself. And at that point, we already kind of walked through some sketchy seaweed areas, you know, and I didn't want to go by myself and get eaten by a shark. So mom says float on your back and starts floating through it.
Oh, no.
And from past experiences, like in Jamaica, we realized that like I can't float, like even in the seawater, like my body like flips over or like I fold in half and sink. Like I just don't know how to float even in the ocean. And so then I started like crawling on Cameron's back because as they're all trying to talk me through it, they're slowly like walking through it. And like I don't want to be out by myself in the ocean at like this deep, but also like I'm not trying to go in there. So I was trying to hold on to Cameron's back and mom was halfway through floating and Cameron says, "Look, there's some fish." And you could see some movement in the like the dark.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Look, there's more fish." And you start noticing that the fish are just doing this and that the dark is fish. Like it's a bunch of fish. So then a couple of them start swimming around us, and I'm like, "Oh my god! Like there's fish swimming around us. Like let's just go." And so as I'm about to like doggy paddle back, trying not to like touch anything, we notice that like they start circling us, and then I start really freaking out when they're like hitting me, like they're running into me. And they're like anywhere from like this big to like this big. And they're like hitting my side and like hitting me. And then the whole water where it was clear is dark now because the fish are surrounding us.
Oh God.
And so I started screaming that it's a bait ball because that's scary. And then I swam for my life and we made it.
I would have had a panic attack for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I was. I was like trying not to like drown him by being on his back, but I was trying to swim, but then also like maybe grabbing onto him. It was, yeah, it was pretty scary for me.
Well, he's cracking up laughing next to me here. So
Yeah, him
he's
and
a
Patrick said that was the funniest thing he's had seen in a few years. So I was their entertainment, but that was scary. That was really scary. Like not being able to see anything and you're like armpit deep trying to swim through the ocean and just a bunch of fish swimming and hitting you.
mhm.
That was scary.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No.
He said there was a fish that jump scared you and set you off. It jumped in the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was before we realized it was fish, I didn't want to go through the seaweed, what we thought was seaweed, or I thought was because it was dark, like all the other patches of seaweed. I didn't want to go through because as we're standing there trying to figure out, like, is there a patch, like a lighter way we could go through? There was like you saw something jump and splash. And so I was like, okay, like there's a fish through there, like a bigger fish, or whatever. And then that's when we noticed it was fish and they're clearly jumping out of the water and like swarming us and who knows what was down there trying to eat them,
Ugh.
like.
Yeah.
And then once we got out we did see a stingray who was kind of following some of the fish along the shore, so they could have been freaking out because of a stingray or several stingrays, but you don't know when you can't see and you're armpit deep in water.
Oh my God. No,
Yeah.
better you than me. I will not be doing that. He says that's a core memory for, I guess, you guys, not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Yep.
safely sweating on the beach.
I knew I should
Happily.
have just left them and went the safe path with all the people and been like, "Hey, have
Yeah.
fun looking at the seaweed."
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I'm glad you guys did that. And yes, you were way out there. It was far, but I could start to see people starting to follow you too. It was kind of fun to watch. Like first, it was just you two, and then it was like this, like you said, a train of people that were like, "Oh, let's just follow them," and they could, they let you guys go first, but they were definitely there had to be at least like 20 or 30 other people that followed you guys out there.
Yeah. Yeah, and out there, I was telling Cameron that that would be a perfect place, like, if I went back and I brought the kids, that would be a perfect place when the tide goes down to go sit there because, like I said, for as far as you could see, it was only, like, half to ankle deep, and that's all you had to walk to get out there, and it was all just sand and crystal clear water unless you got towards the patches of the seaweed, but there was big open areas of just, like, crystal water and just sand bottom that was ankle deep. So people brought their floating mats and they were just like hanging out there.
Cool. Yeah, it was really pretty. And I did see one little girl that got stung by a jellyfish, and it was so sad. She was screaming, but um, the lifeguards were definitely prepared to take care of those. And it seemed like once everyone got sprayed with the vinegar, that at least the initial screaming and panicking and whatever was going on definitely subsided a little bit. But so if anyone is ever in these types of waters and you see a purple flag, number one, that means I don't know exactly what it means, but in this scenario, it was jellyfish. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think
and
if we Googled it and it meant like dangerous wildlife or dangerous like conditions or something.
yeah. And then if you do get stung, just go to the lifeguard station. They have vinegar or something in a spray bottle. We hope it was vinegar. And or someone will offer to pee on your sting because we heard that multiple times. Let's just go pee
Yeah,
on it.
because the girl that was right next to us in our beach chair, she got stung and she wasn't screaming. And she was probably like 12, 14, and she wasn't screaming. So I don't think it was like, I mean, I guess it depends, but she did say it hurt and it looked like maybe she wanted to cry a little bit. But then, like, she walked to the lifeguard and 5 minutes later she came back and she was totally fine.
Yeah. Um, you mentioned that you met someone that was on one of the other ships, and that reminded me that we weren't alone on the private island, and even with that, having was it Odyssey of the Seas that was in there with us, which is I think they're a little bit bigger than Jewel of the Seas, but it still with two ships in there didn't feel like it was crowded. We even went to the pool on our way back to the ship, and I thought it was I mean, great. They do a really good job, I think, with their private island. That you don't have to spend a lot of money off the ship if you don't want to. If you want to do the theme park and you want to do the hot air balloon, you can do those things. But and the private adult area that also would cost some extra money. But if you don't want to spend all that extra money, there's definitely plenty of free stuff to do on Perfect Day at Coco Cay.
Yeah, I didn't spend a single penny on
Yeah,
the private island. And I never had to look for a spot. I never had to worry. It was nice that all of the chairs, like every set of four, had an umbrella, so you didn't have to like if you want to buy a cabana, like the convenience of it, and like I get that and the comfortability of it. But like we had an umbrella, we had shade if we wanted. Any chair you picked, you could have shade and an umbrella, and so that was
yeah,
nice.
yeah. It's really nice. Right. Well, anybody have any questions for us, or you have anything else, Kayla, you want to add? I think we pretty much wrapped it all up. Um, but overall, I had a blast. I would definitely do it again. Um, and we don't have anything booked just yet to go on another cruise together, but we will. And I think next episode we should maybe talk about the MSC Meraviglia. Or no, we went on the Magnifica. We went on the Magnifica
Mhm.
together. So we could talk
Yeah.
about that and maybe talk about MSC a little bit, but and then get another cruise booked or another trip booked, so we have some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and maybe give MSC another try.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, thank you everyone again for stopping by. Thank you, Wolves and Terry, and who else did we have in here? Kay, of course. We had Toes stop by for a couple minutes, and Cabinet, who's been our amazing moderator. But thank you guys all for your support and swinging by, and we will catch you next time.